We are continuing our investigation here in Jerusalem. Here behind me you see Damascus Gate. Damascus Gate is a very old gate. We are going to go through this old city of Jerusalem. We're going to look at the stones. We're going to look at something called Herodian stones. We're going to look at something called the colonnade, all right, or the Cardo. There are routes through the city of Jerusalem that date to the Second Temple period time, the time of the Lord Jesus Christ, which would show us actual roads and places that existed at that time. Okay, guys, in order to do this, we must be on site. The type of research we're doing here, you cannot do online. You have to see the stones, you have to see them for yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to be here throughout the walls and show you these locations, because it's very, very important for us to see that if there is a road, there cannot be a house on top of the road. This is going to show us where the true location of the temple is. So let's get into it.
Here we have these stones that we can see these borders upon, which we'll be pointing out and showing you. And we know this is the location of the Roman period stones. So this is Roman period. We're here in the north at the Damascus Gate. And we know this period. We know that these are the Roman walls of the north at that time. And again, we are seeing clear foundation stones that are Herodian stones, whatever you want to call them. But this is right at the Damascus Gate. Additionally, we have more base stones, these Herodian stones, at the base of the Damascus Gate on the right side. When we're facing the gate on the right side, we have these same features of these stones.
Okay guys, this is where we were down below, showing you this area, and we've shown you the base of this tower. Now we're standing in the tower looking down from where we started, and you'll notice I'm using this term Herodian stones. And at this point you're probably wondering, well, what are Herodian stones? Well, Herodian means Herod, and that's the time of Herod, the time of the building at the time of the Second Temple. And we have a famous Herodian stone and a tour guide that's going to give us a demonstration of what the Herodian stones are, how we identify them, and a lot of the Roman period building that went into a lot of these roads, these very important cardos and things that we're going to show.
But ignore this chiseling here. You will see a stone that has a smooth center with recessed margins on all four sides. This is called Herodian stone. Herod, the great builder, built his buildings with stone like this. You could see the stone in the cave of the patriarchs in Hebron. You could see it in Caesarea. You could see it at the Herodian, wherever he built. You could see the stone. And you'll see what I mean. That is one stone of the western wall. It measures 13.5 meters in length. In its completed state, the height is 3 meters. The depth is about 4 meters, 4.5 meters. The weight of the stone, 570 metric tons. That's what I learned. That's about the weight of 2 completely fueled 747 Boeing jets, 450 elephants in a room. Now please remember, there was a street below us. We are standing on an artificial platform that was created here in 1967. The street that ran along the western wall was maybe 15, 17 meters below us. So this stone here is way up on the wall.
Another huge Herodian stone we can see here, and it's really hard to get in video the scope of the enormous size of these particular stones. We know that the first one is 40 feet, and then this one we would have to measure. It's almost the same size. Okay, we're running along the western wall. We have Herodian stones, and they're moving. There's a couple centimeters, and they're recessed. And we're now presently under the Muslim quarter above us.
All right, down below is where we were showing you the intro here, where we showed you this gate. Now we're up in the gate, and if we turn around, we can see the route of the ancient Cardo. And as we go here, what we're looking at is this road. You see the people walking? Okay, see that path? Then it splits. Part of it's going to the left, part of it's going to the right. These are the remnants of the ancient Cardo. It does become obscured by the rest of Jerusalem here, but you can see as it's running, okay, a portion of that is right next to this is the Holy Sepulcher. Then we're going to show you the Russian church, and it has parts of this Cardo as it passes through. Okay, we'll show you that. We have to go inside the church so as to show you that. Also, to give you a nice vantage point of where we are, okay, we can see across here there is the Dome of the Rock.
We're here in the Russian Orthodox portion, and before us is a old Roman wall. If we look closely at the stones, we can see the same grooves in these stones that we see elsewhere. Okay, and this particular wall is a corner. Then this is going north to south. This is going east to west. Okay, here in this Russian Orthodox church, singing is beautiful, but we have this wall. This is running north to south, comes here, and try to give you a vantage point. It then runs east to west here, and east to west here. Here is the base of the wall and the stones here. Okay, then it appears that the wall that we just looked at there could be continuing here, and that we have an old gate to the city here. Some of what we're looking at is replaced. This is not certainly an original pillar. We have very old foundation stones here. This might be an external arch to the old walls. All right, to give you an idea of what we were talking about, this is Damascus Gate here, and then this is the route that was heading to our right, and this is the route heading towards the left. And you can see what it's doing is it's heading towards Dome of the Rock area here, and then we have this one running straight, which we're going to show you as it continues. We're going to follow that as it runs underground. But another one we want to point out, which is more challenging to find, is this one off, it's called Wilson's Arch. Wilson's Arch is here. It runs across to Herod's Palace. This one is more obscured in modern Jerusalem, so it's more challenging for us to find. However, this one will continue into Dung Gate. You can see Dung Gate. We're going to show you these stones here at Dung Gate.
Okay guys, now we're in an area called the Cardo, and you can see the old portions of the Cardo over here with the old stones. We have some old pavement stones which we could see right down there. Okay, original pavement stones. You see that there are pillars, and as we walk back these pillars, these are the ancient pillars of the Cardo. This would have gone from Damascus Gate heading south. Okay, so that's what this is. This is the ancient Cardo. We'll show you a couple places where this is. We can see this is very old. This was a marketplace, and we have old portions of the Cardo, the pavement of the Cardo, still in existence. But this is what the area looks like all around. Okay, you can see it's a popular tourist area, and this is the Cardo. We'll continue to show you some of this. The Cardo continues. You can see it's called the Western Cardo here. You can see that it continues outside with the pavement, columns, and there were booths like this one that were the marketplace. Let's go down there and check that out. Okay, here's the Cardo. You can see these booths. These were a part of the marketplace. And then with them, we have the pillars, and this is outside. This is the original Cardo. Some of these are the pavements here, which you can see. And this is running along. You can see behind me that, see how low I am? And see this upper level? That's where the road is now. So there is a road and a path that follows this in similar fashion, but it gives you a sense of Jerusalem. So when a level was destroyed like this, they just built the material on top. So now you can see the upper level on top. But this is the outer Cardo, just to give you a sense of what it looks like. Now this is very important because this Cardo would have existed at the time of the temple. So where we are right now outside, now let's follow this. We have the lower level that we just showed you, okay? Now we're on the upper level here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a straight walk to what you can see. And remember, just off to the side here, that's where the Cardo is running. Okay, now what's what's happened is we've run a straight path from the Cardo right outside, and now you can see where it was running is right into this parking lot, okay? And let's take a look at this parking lot, and we can see this is exactly where the Cardo is running, okay? It's running right along this side, right where these cars are, okay? So we're following this. As a straight line. It's continuing. You can see the line right there with the cars, okay? And it's going in this parking lot as a straight line. We're not moving, we're not deviating. This is exactly where the Cardo would have gone, okay? And now let's go down. Let's go down to the lower level and let's continue our path. So what we've done is we've crossed this path right there. That's right where the Cardo is running. And now let's continue this way. And we're running south, and we're running along the wall. And the reason we're doing this is because this is the route. And let's see what it does. What it's going to do as we run through this parking lot, it's going to bring us to something important. Now keep in mind, these walls here, these are not the walls at the time of the Second Temple, okay? But as we see, we've taken just a straight line, and look at where we come. We come to a tower. We come to a fortress right here, okay? If we look at this, this could be Herod. If we look, we do have Herodian stones with their borders. Okay, so can you see the borders? So we do have Herodian stones, but this Cardo is reaching to this tower, and it's quite possible that it would have stopped here. This is so important. All right, you remember how we walked through the Cardo with the pillars, and we came through the parking lot? We have the slope going down, and we have this tower. This is very, very important, because if this tower is the point by which this Cardo is leaving, what we have is we have a clear Second Temple period Cardo that exists, okay? It's going right through this parking lot. Now, to give you an idea of what we're doing is we're facing to the east, okay? This is the Kidron Valley, this is Mount of Olives, and just beyond here, let's take a little zoom in on that. All right, that's Alaska Moss, of course, where the Dome of the Rock is. So this is clearly Second Temple Cardos and things leading to this tower, which we believe it ends. So the temple has to be on this side, okay? Now, what we have is a steep drop as well. See how it's steep? And the walls begin to drop. It goes off. Over here is the city of David. So the city of David comes up, okay? And it meets what we are on is called Mount Zion. And we can see the top of the churches there that are called Mount Zion. This is very, very important. If this tower is Hasmonean, what that is that's around 100, 200 BC, and this Cardo is up until the Second Temple around Herod and the time of Christ, then this would have continued to this point, meaning that the temple would be over here. Very, very important. And while I'm at this point, guys, I want to talk about the city of David, which is down below here, okay? What's considered Mount Moriah over there, and then Mount Zion, which is over here. So let's clearly see that the scriptures say that all of them are part of the temple, but particularly the city of David. Let's look at the verses. Okay, let's look at the verses here. The temple is in Zion and the city of David. So 2 Chronicles 3:1, and Solomon made to build the house of the Lord at Jerusalem in Mount Moriah. Okay, now Mount Moriah is normally considered to be over here, okay, where the Lord appeared to David and his father in the place called the threshing floor of Ornan. That's 2 Chronicles 3:1. 1 Kings 8:1, And Solomon assembled the elders in Jerusalem that they bring up the ark of the covenant to the city of David, or city of David, which is Zion. So the city of David, which we know is down below, and the southern portion of the wall here is called Zion, but there the city of David is Zion. We can clearly see that from the scriptures. 2 Samuel 5:7, David took the stronghold of Zion. The same is the city of David. Okay. The inhabitants of Jebus said to David, you shall not come. But David took the castle of Zion, which is the city of David. And it came to pass that the ark of the covenant of the Lord came to the city of David. Now, let's look at some verses in the Psalms that talk about the temple being in Zion. Yet I have set my king upon the holy hill of Zion. Psalm 20, verse 2. Send help from the sanctuary and the strength out of Zion. Psalm 51:18. Do good to your good pleasure unto Zion. Build the walls, we're here at the walls of Jerusalem. Then they shall be pleased with the sacrifices of the righteous, and they shall offer bullocks upon the altar. The altar is in the temple. Okay, now let's talk about Salem. Melchizedek in Genesis 14 appeared to Abraham in Salem. Now that's the, remember we saw Jebus? Well, that's the Jebus and Salem is the combination of the name. That's the ancient name of Jerusalem, okay? But Abraham was in Salem, or it talks about the king of Salem visiting him. Now, let's go back to Psalms. Psalm 76, verse 2. In Salem also is his tabernacle and his dwelling place in Zion. Okay. For the Lord has chosen Zion, has desired it for his habitation. Isaiah 24, verse 23. The Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion, in Jerusalem, before his ancients, or the elders, gloriously. Isaiah 51:1. Awake, awake, put on strength, O Zion, put on the beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. Isaiah 60:14. And they shall come to you to the city of the Lord, Zion of the Holy One of Israel. So it is Zion where the temple rests. Another confirmation of this, Jeremiah 50, verse 28. The voice of them that flee, that escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord our God, the vengeance of his temple. So clearly, the verbiage and all the language is that the temple is in Zion. Zion is the city of David. Okay. Now it also does say Moriah. Okay. So there's really only one place where all these three places meet, and it's right here. Okay, just beyond here, you can even see that synagogue and the parking lot. And this area going towards the Cardo that reaches between the Wilson's Arch, okay, on the Temple Mount, all the way to Herod's Palace. Okay, that's going to be a difficult one for us to show you from above, because that's just been covered over. But we've shown you that on the map. So guys, the city of David, Zion, is where the temple is located. Okay, excellent vantage point. Down below here we have the tower. Here is the parking lot. Across the way over here, that's where the Cardo is continuing to pass through. And as we turn, we can see the City of David Museum. All right, that's what this brown building is. We've shown you the City of David before, but you can see how close that is coming up to this area here, which is the southern portion of what they call the Temple Mount. See, that's right there. Okay, and then just below that, all this is the city of David. Okay. And as we look again, that's the museum right there. So this gives us an excellent vantage point to see the southern wall. Remember, these are not These walls here are new. They wouldn't have been here. They would have had a tower, but this shows us that from this slope, this hill going down and going over, this would be where the temple was. Okay, this is an excellent vantage point for our next Cardo. Our next Cardo is right here. Okay, this is the old gate. And what we'll do, we're going to walk through here. We're going to show you this on their side. The pavements, some of the pillars are in there. And this is the one running on this side of the, actually the Temple Mount is just here. Robinson's Arch is just here. So this one is running this way, just parallel to Fort Antonia. And what we have is an excellent vantage point here of this Cardo. It's quite possible even these are the stones leading to the south, and that would have gone all the way down to the bottom of the Pool of Siloam, which I'm not sure where it is. It kind of gets lost in there. But what we also have is the City of David. Very clearly here, this is the museum. Clear evidence, First Temple, Second Temple evidence right here. And this is City of David coming up, okay? And this is a Cardo. So what that means is now we have the other Cardo. This Cardo means that everything, as this runs up, the temple must be on this side, okay? And there, of course, we have the Dome of the Rock and the Temple Mount. So now let's go and look at the other Cardo. Okay, guys, here we have this tower. This may not be the oldest tower, but we showed you this from up above. We were up there, and this is the Suleiman newer walls. We've had this tower. Okay, just there is the Dung Gate. Now, as we walk here, we have this. We have exposed bedrock. Okay, these again are newer walls. All right. The sign here calls this a medieval fortification, which could very well be. However, when we come inside, we do have ancient stonework here. We do have old stones here and here, and we do have the old Cardo. So we have the pillars, okay, the stations of the pillars, and we do have the pavement. See the old pavement? This is old Roman pavement heading all the way up, and we also see a painting rendition of this Cardo. So now where we are is again another old fortification. Sorry for the music, it's always like this over here, bar mitzvahs and stuff. But that's Alaska Mosque, and this is the corner of the Temple Mount. Okay, so this is from this point on the western wall. So there's a lot of events here, music and stuff, bar mitzvahs, stuff is always going on, weddings over here. But again, we have these fortifications. We have, look at this. This is an excellent example of Jerusalem, guys. See how this is old. Look at, they just built on top, and they're built on top of rubble, right? And now the rubble is gone, and there's nothing, there's less supporting the walls. This is just Jerusalem. This is just what it looks like. We have an excellent map here of the topography of Jerusalem. All right, what are we looking at? Well, we're in the south, facing north, and as we do, what we have is what amounts to the City of David here. Okay, the City of David goes up, and traditionally what's viewed is that as it goes up, this is Mount Moriah. Now, Mount Moriah does continue up the mountain beyond the place that is known as the Temple Mount, okay? But this is Mount Zion, okay? People look at that as Mount Zion, okay? This is the City of David. What is the one point in all of this that connects all of these? It's right here. This right here is the place of the temple, okay? This is that place we've been showing you. That is the parking lot, okay, which in modern times is the Jewish quarter, okay, going up. So this valley that goes inside, but clearly we have what we know is the city of David all the way at the bottom, Pool of Siloam. Okay, the old walls would have gone all the way around, all the way down, around, all the way up. Okay, but in this topography we can clearly see Mount Zion, Mount Moriah, city of David. What's the one thing that connects them all? This. All right, now let's rehearse what we've done thus far. We zoom in here. See this right there? That is the Damascus Gate. We started there, and then we showed you how it splits in two, okay? One of them goes over here and then runs along the closer side to the western wall. The other one runs just beyond the Holy Sepulcher here, running down. Okay, as it comes through, it's very challenging to show you this. It's obscured so much. But this synagogue here, that's on the eastern side of the Cardo. So the Cardo runs and then ends. Now, just to give you a vantage point, over here is Mount Zion. Okay, good. Now, the other thing that's very challenging to demonstrate is that you can see the entire western wall is not visible where we are. But in the western wall, at some point, more than likely here, there would be Wilson's Arch down below and a Cardo bridge that would have run directly to where I'm standing now on this tower. This tower here is Herod's palace, okay? So we do have evidence of that bridge, okay? So what this means is these are Second Temple Cardos, roads, going to the western wall, Second Temple Cardos running by. So what this does is wherever this one here is kind of obscured, apologize, but still what this tells us is that from here, this is north, this is south. From this line south, this is where the temple would be. Okay, it's going to be in this general area. Okay, the Cardo is running just on this side of that synagogue. Okay, we showed you the tower, the other tower foundations ends there. So within this area here, guys, here, all this here, this whole area would have been the temple complex there, all that. All right, here's a picture of the bridge. So this is the western wall. Robinson's Arch here, Wilson's Arch, and what we're trying to show you is that there is a bridge leading from the western wall to what's called Herod's palace, and that's his fortress. So what we have here is this is the Tower of David, what it's called now. We showed you Herodian stones here, but this entire facility ran to what's the modern day southern portion of the wall. So all of this is Herod's palace. Okay? But what's important for us to understand is that this is a wall that would have led to the fortress connecting to Herod's palace. What this is not showing are the two Cardos. Remember, we had the two Cardos which would be coming down, one close to the western wall, one not. So, but what this does give us, it gives us Herod's palace, gives us the bridge. All right, another interesting map, and again, giving us some topography now with the area. Okay, City of David here, Fort Antonia. Now, if we can look closely, we can see the remnants of the road and bridge, Wilson's Arch, and road to Herod's palace. Okay, and remember the split road? All right, they're showing that going down and into this area. Now you can see the topography drops down quite a bit. So what we're saying is this is the area within this perimeter here would have been the temple complex. Okay, could have easily fit in there with all the buildings and structures. Okay, because we do have clear Cardos running north to south here. Okay, here at the time of the Second Temple, and running here. And one other thing to point out with this map is we have what's, kind of viewed as Mount Moriah, City of David, Mount Zion. So what's in between them all? Right here. Okay guys, let's wrap this up. So what do we have? We have Herodian stones. We've shown you the various locations of Herodian stones. We have Cardos, okay? We've shown you the Cardos that run from the north to the south. We've also shown you the road from Wilson's Arch going east to west to Herod's Palace, giving us this proximity, this holy precinct, this holy place, which would have been the temple complex. That's where it was. Guys, we know that Jerusalem was completely destroyed several times, but the Lord Jesus said no stone was turned upon another. The Romans dug up the foundation stones of the temple to find gold. So we know that from the various accounts, and we're going to share more and have more in our investigation of the true location of the temple. But here we're focusing on Herodian stones and the Cardo giving us this place, this location. And again, to summarize, this would include the areas of Mount Moriah, City of David, and Zion. Okay? So guys, thank you for watching. I do have a playlist on the true temple location. This is part of that series. So I encourage you to watch, in particular, Qumran, because in Qumran, we had this location in Qumran in the Dead Sea Scrolls area on the Dead Sea, which also showed us this, this location for the temple. So thanks for watching, and God bless you.